Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Golden, Fu, and Destination here on Scrap Station. Golden appropriately spawned as the yellow Zerg player over here at the 12 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Destination spawned at the 3 o'clock position as the blue Terran. So once again, this is going to be more Terran versus Zerg matchup. I believe this is part of the clan battle, similar to the Savior versus SC407 that I had casted earlier. So this is just going to be a continuation of those games. Destination as the blue Terran player here will figure out what exactly the strategies are going to be. Will the teams use the same strategies, or will they try to change it up a little bit? Destination now moving out with this early SCV, perhaps going to set up a supply depot at this front door. There we go. And then most likely we'll also have a barracks and a factory here in just a moment. We do have one overlord now making its way across the map, and I guess they had asked for a pause and they okayed it. I do not know Korean all too well, so we do have an overlord now making its way across the map. Perhaps we'll be able to gain some sight in just a second and figure out exactly what the strategy will be coming in from Destination. Interestingly enough, we also see a drone making its way across the map and now going to try to hide its positioning a little bit more. I'm actually not 100% sure what that drone was doing. Perhaps trying to look for any proxy racks, making sure that there isn't any proxy barracks coming into play. As this overlord now starts to fly into this positioning here, he should be able to see this barracks. As soon as that barracks is down, most likely will be trying to set up a hatchery at the natural expansion. Yeah, Golden Fu now gonna go ahead and set up an expansion over here at what I'll call the 10 o'clock position as this game gets underway. We do see the refinery also down by Destination. This is not a refinery before a barracks, so we will not get any early factory play. We should probably get 1 or 2 Marines being trained up, and then perhaps a tech lab or a factory, really depending on what Destination tries to go for. Also should be upgrading to an orbital command right as that barracks finishes. There we go, upgrading to an orbital command, and now most likely will be adding a tech lab. So going for an earlier tech lab instead of going for a factory and not even getting a Marine out. So it will be quite some time, and this drone will be able to just wander around on the inside of this base a lot and get a lot of scouting information into exactly what Destination is doing. We do see one overlord in this position here, and we'll be able to gain sight on this SCV as it tries to come up actually just a little bit out of range. Destination will be able to come into the base and see that this hatchery is nearly completed and know that Golden Fu went for what I believe to be a 14 hatchery. Spawning pool nearing completion as well, and back over here it does look like there's a drone now hiding here. Not exactly sure what this drone wants to do in this positioning, but there is a lot of minerals being saved up. Is he going to try to place a hatchery over here by these destructible rocks? That would be a crazy maneuver, as there is now a bunker being placed down here. Back over here, this drone still hiding out in this position here, and now we see a lot of queens currently being trained, bunker nearing completion, and now 2 queens being trained, and now this drone perhaps going to try to come back in and gain some more sight. There is one Reaper now on the way, so the Reaper will be able to come into that position, and now drone going after that SCV perhaps going to jump inside that location as that drone gets some damage across. Zergling's now trying to come in as well. However, that Reaper will be able to get in there, and that Reaper does have a full 5 range on those DA charges, so we'll have a range of 6. Zergling's now dealing some damage, and now down goes one Zergling. Another Zergling will get taken down. Will the Reaper be able to get inside is the key question, and able to hop inside. Nicely done there, and now that bunker positioning absolutely perfect. So what needs to happen by Golden Fu is that Golden Fu needs to use this queen and try to soak up some of that damage. So what's going to happen most likely is that queen's going to try to move out, absorb some of that damage, not take any damage from those DA charges, and then come in from the additional queens as well. However, there is going to be another Reaper coming in, and that's going to be a very bad sign, as that Reaper now tries to push in and back and forth, and now trying to get a surround over here, going after some of this damage over here. I believe the queen is taking the damage. Yeah, the queen soaking up that damage. However, and that queen is not a light unit, so now I'm going to try to salvage that bunker. Bunker will be salvaged. Reaper now onto that high ground, and now that Reaper on that high ground may be able to pick off more units. There is a second Reaper over here trying to return all the way home. As these Zerglings are going to come back around the backside here, that poor Reaper will be trying to be forced to jump up and down this cliff fairly often. Now jumping to that low ground, going to get pecked. Is it going to get pecked? Not quite sure. Onto the creep, and down it goes. So very aggressive bunkering by Destination. Destination trying to use Reapers against Zerg even after the patch. This is part of patch 1.1.2, not the most recent 1.1.3, but it's still, you still need a supply depot before you can build a barracks. And now we see Marines being trained out of that reactor core, stim pack, and will be researched, perhaps even the combat shield as well, and we are perhaps going to go into mass infantry. We see a lot of barracks in play and another reactor coming into play, so it looks as though that is going to be the case. Getting that combat shield, going for mass Marines, And mass Marines with a lot of reactors will be able to pump out units in a hurry. So Destination now running off of 4 racks, 2 with reactors, and now just training up a lot of Marines. So a lot of Marines will be coming out in just a moment, and you can see the production tab. 4 Marines now being trained, also getting another reactor here. So Destination also trying to get as many minerals as possible. Will be able to macro up a very, very large army in just a mere moment. Marines now making their way down the ramp over here. There is one Reaper acting as an early scout over here just to make sure that there are no Zerglings that try to come into this position. And now Golden Fu using creep tumors to try to gain creep advantage and movement advantage over here in this positioning. We now see Zerglings now trying to make their way across. Will that one Reaper? Yeah, Reaper able to get off another kill there, trying to deal more and more damage. SCV needs to be very, very careful here. Perhaps we'll be able to hold up some of those units. And those Zerglings do not want to engage. However, there are mass Marines coming in this position. The Overlord is able to gain sight that these rocks are nearly destroyed. And that is going to be a very, very bad sign, especially when we have 6 more Marines being trained and 1 Marauder. Combat shield now being completed as well, and those destructible rocks nearly completed. Back over here, I believe that, no, the Reaper getting an additional kill there. And now as these Marines try to make their way across this walkway here, we'll be able to get a lot of reinforcements. 7 Marines now being trained. So Destination going for a mass Marine army, also training up a lot of SCVs as well. So he may be able to sacrifice some of these SCVs, pull them off the mineral line, and try to act as a meat shield for those Marines and these higher DPS units. So will it be enough as these rocks are now being destroyed? More Marines coming in and joining on this fight. That's a very, very large group of Marines and Marauders. Almost one full control group here, and now another group of Marines here. One Overlord may get shot down. No, does not look like it. Just outside of range, down to 33 hit points, 34, as these creep tumors start to spread out across the map. One creep tumor now down. Zerglings now trying to come in. However, no Hellions to deal any serious splash damage, as these Queens are going to get stuck in just a moment, as there are no longer any creep tumors. So the stim pack now being completed and getting onto this very, very tight choke point here, and acting as a very, very tight ball, and without any Banelings, Golden Fu definitely in trouble. So Golden Fu not quite sure what he can really do about this, as Destination moves out with mass Marines. Zerglings walking to their death. We see the Baneling nest currently being built, but I do not think it will be in time even for any of those Zerglings to try to come in. So Marines and Marauders continuing to push out. Overlord just falling out of the sky as more Marines and Marauders just continue to push. Zerglings now trying to get a surround over here. However, more Marines being pulled back into that position. Very nicely done, as Marines and Marauders now going after these hatcheries. And the Baneling nest has been completed, but the Baneling nest has been completed, but it's not going to be enough. And Golden Fu says WW, and I don't, like I said earlier, I don't know what the WW means. It could be wah wah, not quite sure. But mass Marines and Marauders, no combat shield, just a very, very aggressive push out from the Zerg player. And we're very curious as to why Golden Fu did not go for an earlier Baneling's Nest. If he had gone for an earlier Baneling's Nest, he may have been able to and perhaps deal significant damage against these tightly packed group of units. However, even with the Baneling Nest, the Marines do have stim packs already and Marauders, so those Marauders would be able to perhaps slow down those Banelings with those concussive shells, and then move very quickly as well. And the key point was Golden Fu did try to get all these creep tumors in play, try to make it so that he had the movement advantage. However, the sheer number and the sheer army size of Destination at this stage in the game, a mere 11 minutes in or 10 minutes into this game, he had a mineral army of 2550, which is very, very large, and just able to have a very, very high DPS amount. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Golden Fu and Destination here on Scrap Station.